So now that the Earth DLC's been out for over a week, it's time to give the official review of the motherfucker. Now here's the deal. I don't know what the fuck is up with the BioWare and Mass Effect community. It's like a pussy party of complainers or some shit, man. Because all people do is complain about the shit that BioWare gives us. Oh, this is overpowered. Oh, this is underpowered. Oh, this needs to get nerfed. Oh, this power can't be used. Oh, people only use cheap guns to get by. Oh, holy shit. What the fuck is wrong with you people, man? The same noise coming out of their mouth is the same noise that would be coming out of their asshole. So instead of falling into that same trap of idiots that all they do is complain about shit, I'm going to give the real review people want to hear about the Earth DLC. Fuck all that shit. This is how the review should go. Now, first off, let's just start with this for a second. You're going to notice a ton of fire-based white clips with Geth. Of course, yes, we were fucking farming. And that's because when I play with randoms, I always end up in fucking farming rooms and shit like that. Whenever I do unknown gold, people quit or they be dying like the first round because I play with fucking idiots. So I know as soon as I go into fucking farming rooms, I'm going to get by that shit and get my fucking money. So anyway, let's just start this shit off with why they call it the Earth DLC. We got 3 maps from Earth. We got London, we got Vancouver, we got Rio. Rio is fucking enormous. It's like 3 maps rolled into one. Holy shit. I mean, you spend like half an hour walking across that motherfucker. London is like a perfectly built cross. That's the best way I can explain it. There's like a center area, and then you have all these outlets that basically make the map into a little cross and shit like that. If you stand in the middle, you're gonna get fucked up. So basically, you gotta pick the edges of the crosses and shit like that, and they tried to make it look like London. Then you have Vancouver, another squarish map where you kind of stay around the outside. But here's the thing. I've been to Vancouver plenty of times. That shit does not look like Vancouver. I'm sorry. There's nothing on there that is recognizable as Vancouver. Rio, they have Christ the Redeemer statue in the back. London has some of the streets and the buildings that look like London. Vancouver, nothing. If you were to tell me that shit was fucking Timbuktu, I'd be like, okay, fine. That shit looks like it does not look like Vancouver. So they fucked that shit up. Then we got a whole bunch of gear bonuses. None of these shits are really worth mentioning. We all got a bunch of gun attachments called mods. Again, nothing really worth mentioning. But we did also get 3 weapons. The first one is the Acolyte, which is a piece of shit. Now, I know what it's meant to do. It's meant to strip away shields and barriers. But here's the thing. You could just use a fucking Rieger. And the Rieger is 10 times more powerful than that little piece of shit. You have to charge it up. You have to shoot it. Oh, God, get that little piece of shit out of here, man. I will not use that gun for anything. You can't use it as a primary pistol. You can use it maybe as a secondary, but even then, what a fucking waste of a weapon that stupid little shit is, man. Then you have the Piranha shotgun. The Piranha shotgun is powerful, but it has absolutely no range. Basically, you have to go up to someone, tell them, hey, put your dick in this barrel, turn your head and cough, and then pull the trigger, and that's how you do some damage. Imagine that shit. No, but seriously, it has no fucking range. So basically, you have to be right up on a motherfucker to kill them with that goddamn gun. Then we have the N7 Typhoon, and it's another ultra rare weapon, which pisses me the fuck off because it's so hard to get ultra rare weapons in this fucking game. So then all of a sudden they make this one another ultra rare. So it's like, man, I don't even have it yet. That shit pisses me the fuck off. But I do know it's obviously badass because they already nerfed the shit. Guess why they nerfed it? Because idiots complained about this motherfucker. So yes, the shit is fucking powerful. But the main thing people want to talk about are the classes. So this is how the review of classes should go. So we're gonna start this shit off with the Fury Adept, and I'll tell you, she has a nice ass. Look at that shit, man. Not since the initial Quarian female have we been rewarded with an ass like that. But man, they made her mask ugly as shit. It's like they're trying to cover up Hannibal Lecter or something to that motherfucker. She's like the typical butterface. Everything else looks good but her face. Now, she has 3 powers. One is Throw, which has been around for a while, and that's used to set up her biotics and shit like that. But the other 2 are brand new to multiplayer. She has something called Annihilation Field, which glows all this purple shit around her. But man, it just looks like bad body odor, doesn't it? Come on, how you gonna give some fine body like that some bad BO? That's just fucking wrong, man. It's like she runs up on you all funky and shit, and she rubs her armpit sweat on them or something. I don't know, man. It's just like fucking nasty like that. You know, you ever stand next to somebody not wearing deodorant? That's what this power is like. And then the other power she has is called Dark Channel. I prefer Porn Channel, but hey, we'll go with Dark Channel. If you spam that with Throw, you get your biotic explosions. Basically, she becomes like all other biotic classes. Is she useful? Sure, if you know how to use her. It's basically going to be a run and gun class where you need to get close, you get into that annihilation field, you know, you get the enemies all lit up and shit with your funky body odor and shit like that. Hit her with Throw, biotic explosion for days. Now, she's a very high risk, high reward class. So yes, you are going to take a number of deaths if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, especially on the harder level. So she's useful, but you gotta know how to use her. Next up is the Destroyer Soldier, and I'll just say this right now since it's been said already a few times. Motherfucker looks like War Machine from the Marvel Comics. Man, come on, seriously? A rocket launcher from his shoulder, grenades popping out his ass, and some kind of interface with his view? Come on, man. The dude looks like he should be teaming up with like Iron Man and the Hulk and shit like that, and beating the shit out of Reapers and whatnot. In any event, He's a big son of a bitch too. He has the most health and shield of any human character, so he's built to take a beating. Now, of his 3 powers, the multi-frag thing is badass. You throw that shit out, whole bunch of fucking frag grenades, it actually kills a motherfucker. But again, look straight at some shit like War Machine at this motherfucker. His other 2 powers are kind of hit or miss. The red shit you see on the screen is called Devastator mode. What he's devastating, I don't know. But what I do know is that little screen on the bottom is fucking useless. I don't pay attention to that shit. You know, when I want to shoot something, I shoot whatever the fuck's in front of me. I'm not gonna look at some little TV screen like picture-in-picture and shit like that. Now, Devastator mode does add significant damage to the dude, but it also slows him down, man. It's like he's already slow to begin with. Then on top of that, when you turn that shit on, it makes him slower than a motherfucker. I mean, come on, how you not gonna give like War Machine over here a rocket booster on his ass to make him faster? That's what he fucking needs. Now, the final power that he has is just fucking useless. It's the missile launcher. A burp can do more damage than that fucking thing. And basically, it's the cheapest shit ever created. On top of not doing damage, it lowers your shields by 50%. So let me get this straight. This little rocket fires off automatically every couple of seconds, and it lowers my health and shields? Get the fuck out of here, man. If it doesn't kill somebody, I don't want to use it. That weapon and that power is an absolute piece of shit. Now, on to the new engineer called the Demolisher. She's a short little chunky chick. No, seriously, man, look at her. She's got some meat on her from her pictures, and it's about time they actually make a female soldier that has like some shape and curves, because I'm tired of these bony ass chicks that they have in these fucking games. I mean, you know, if you can see rib bones, that means they're too damn skinny. But this plumpy bitch packs a punch. Now, she doesn't have traditional powers, which sounds odd, but she gets this little supply beacon, which basically replenishes ammo and over and over and over again, and she has 2 grenades. Those are her powers, so she's able to restock her own shit in battle. The grenades themselves are useful if you know how to use them. If you set the arc grenade up to take care of shields and barriers, you set homing grenades up to do work on armor, there you go, full ass kicking in effect. But the odd thing about the homing grenades is when you actually fire them, they look small from your point of view. However, everyone else sees that shit, it's like the size of a damn beach ball. It's like, how does that shit double and triple in size? I don't know how that optical illusion works, but fuck it, it looks like great balls of fire up in this match. Now, the only downside is you need to babysit your ammo beacon. Basically, it's like being a single parent and having to drag your kid around with you everywhere so you don't miss out on all the action. Oh man, I know people gonna hate me on that one, but fuck it, that's exactly what that shit is. That little ammo supply beacon is like a kid to a single parent. Now, later I might do a little rant on what people complain about with this class. Some people complain about, oh, if I'm an engineer, you shouldn't take my ammo. And then other people complain, oh, well, you're an engineer, I should take your ammo. Oh god, shut the fuck up. You know, I'll do a rant on that shit, but I don't have time to do it in this motherfucker. So basically, what you want to do, balance out the class. But this plumpy little chick, she does work. So, what do you get when you give some dude a shield and useless powers? No, not a Captain America ripoff. You get the Paladin Sentinel. Bottom line, they should just rename this class Jockstrap, because the only thing he does is support. Now, here's the thing. He's the only character that was given 2 existing powers already, Incinerate and Energy Drain. Both are semi-useful in the right situation, don't get me wrong. But he was also given 1 new power called Snap Freeze, a second ice-based power, whatever. Basically, it says that Cryo Blast sucks ass, something I've said for quite a long time. So now he has fire, he has ice, and electric. I guess he's trying to like be a distant relative of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Motherfucker's trying to turn his own 70s Soul Man and shit like that. Anyway, Snap Freeze is nice, it's fun to use, but it really doesn't blow me away for power. However, they gave him a badass shield. Not only did they give him a shield, but they gave him a shield that has fire and ice properties. Ooh, that shit is so fucking cool, right? So listen, the motherfucker can deploy the shield and protect himself and maybe your teammates, but guess what? That's all it does. You can't shoot a power, you can't shoot a gun around it, which makes no sense because the Cerberus Guardian figured out how to hold a riot shield and shoot a weapon around the motherfucker. So what is this guy doing? He's holding a shield in his left hand. What is he doing with his right hand? Jerking off? It's like, seriously, man. This dude is so reliant on having a powerful gun because Energy Drain works, but it's only meant for shields. You have Incinerate, which works on armor, but it's not going to really take down a motherfucker on the hardest level. So you have to have a powerful weapon, and you have to hope to hell that shield actually protects your ass. Again, the class is made for full support. It's not going to really lead the leaderboards and scores. I'm sure plenty of people will say, I have done it, yes, with a powerful fucking weapon. But based on the powers, it's not going to lead just on the powers alone. It needs a lot of help with this fucking class. Like I said, call him Jockstrap. Next up is the Shadow Infiltrator, aka a fucking Phantom. Now, first of all, let's get this out the way. Why does every fucking RPG game need someone with a sword? I mean, think about this. Going back to the days of Dungeons and Dragons, almost every RPG genre has a motherfucker with a sword. Zelda, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, every single one. So this is like a throwback to the days of traditional RPGs by giving this Infiltrator and also the new Vanguard a fucking sword. And they made this crazy fuck look like a biker chick. Look at that shit, man. She got a helmet on, she got a tight ass bodysuit. You know what she kind of looks like? She looks like the girl that'll be riding the back of a bike with a tramp stamp and her thong sticking all the way up. Tell me that shit don't look like it. Tell me she don't look like the kind of chick that'll hurt you in the bedroom, but you'll keep going back for more until she kills you. I mean, let's face it, she got a sword. She's badass. Now, since all the infiltrators in the game have invisibility, she has it, but she's not a sniper class by any means. You want to use your invisibility and the sword to chop a motherfucker's head off. Unfortunately, on the harder difficulties, especially gold and platinum, it's going to take quite a number of swipes to kill somebody with the goddamn sword. You know, she's not like Kratos from God of War. She's not going to stick her sword up somebody's ass and spin that shit around like a ventriloquist ass. No, she doesn't have that kind of power to make this shit look like a gladiator movie, but she can knock a motherfucker out on the lower difficulties. She also has Shadow Strike, which is basically something out of Mass Effect 2. We saw that with Kasumi. You know, it looks cool and all, but the thing is, if you don't have that tactical cloak power that allows you to use another power while invisible, as soon as you hit a motherfucker and you lose invisibility, all the other enemies that you didn't hit are gonna knock your ass out. It's great to hit one person. It is terrible for crowd control, so that's something you have to pay attention to when you use the motherfucker. And she also has Electric Slash, which is basically a spammer's paradise. Basically, it's like the dude who can whip through walls, you know, the Vanguard and the In-Depth. You can fire this shit through the walls and nail people with tech bursts for days. And that shit goes for a distance, man. That shit goes for like 30 meters when it's fully ranked up, so that shit can fucking fly. That shit is great for anybody who wants to spam that fucking power. Plus, she does all these cool flips and shit with her ass up in the air. So like I said, biker chick wearing lycra with a sword and invisibility means all kinds of kinky foreplay up in this motherfucker. Finally, we have the new Slayer Vanguard, who has some real fucking issues. First of all, the dude has a skirt. A skirt. It's not a cape. It's a skirt. A cape goes around your neck like fucking Superman and shit. This guy only has it around his waist. It's a fucking skirt. I don't care how badass this character is. I don't care how many people he can cut in half with a sword. No amount of coolness makes up for wearing half a skirt. You know, hell, at least the Irish and Scottish, they give their skirts a fancy name and call it a kilt and play bagpipes drinking Guinness. This dude doesn't have any of that shit, man. What fucking logic could possibly explain a skirt? Think about this. 100 years into the future, humans figure out how to fly through fucking space, convince other aliens to speak English. Meanwhile, 60% of Earth doesn't speak English. That gives it a whole nother fucking story. But we taught the galaxy, you know what I mean? We evolved into wearing metal suits into combat. We fight gigantic fucking aliens. Yet all that, and this dude's wearing a skirt. I mean, come on, man. It's bad enough we have two classes using fucking samurai swords like this is feudal Japan or Braveheart days, William Wallace and shit like that. But why do you need a fucking skirt? I mean, the sword was bad enough. I mean, is there like a future Village People band that they haven't explained yet in this motherfucker? Oh, man. Anyway, this guy has the usual biotic charge that all Vanguards have, and two new powers that we haven't seen. He has the biotic slash power, which is just like the fucking electric slash that the Infiltrator has, but basically this one does biotic damage. In other words, BioWare was too lazy to make two new powers, so they made the same shit look different. Fucking brilliant. Then we have Phase Disruptor. I don't know what the fuck it does. It's like an invisible donkey punch or whatever the fuck it is, but I like it. That shit knocks a motherfucker on his ass. I don't like the fact that it uses my barrier, but I still like that shit packs a punch like a motherfucker. Anyways, that's how you review a class. You don't come here and bitch about, oh, this really sucks, that really sucks. Yeah, you can give opinion. The missile launcher sucks. Phase Disruptor is nice. Electric Slash and Biotic Slash are fucking great. But you don't sit here and say, oh, this needs to be nerfed. This needs to be... Oh, God, shut the fuck up with these goddamn people. You give a review on the exact shit people want to hear. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. So anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed my review of the Earth DLC and all the mashup clips that we threw up in this motherfucker. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next Mass Effect video.